Welcome, everybody, to another wonderful episode of Hanging from the Balcony. I am at Sir Jarod. Behind me, as always, Nathan O'Betts.
Hi.
To my right, Lewis, the
Hello!
Professor.
That looks like you're left on the screen. That's weird.
That is weird.
Backward.
That's right, though.
Yeah.
And Kim.
Hi.
And Darth Rudy is still in Las Vegas.
Gosh darn
He's
it.
been gone for
Lucky.
2 weeks.
Jeez.
Summer
Lucky son of a
vacation.
bitch.
He must be just hitting big on the jackpot.
Yeah.
And we just all happen to be wearing the same
Oh, dude,
thing.
this shirt smells so
What?
bad.
Jacket.
What a quadinkering.
Why am I wearing the same clothes?
Why
after
is
a
it that
week?
we're only 30 minutes from the last show and I actually legitimately do smell ripe? What the fuck? That's not good. Don't film it now!
That's my fault. I'm bleeding on.
Are you?
Over here, yeah.
Thank you.
It's my time in the mouth.
Your blood smells like BO. Is that normal? Might have the doctor check you out.
Can I have some water?
Ooh.
Okay.
You parched? You're a little parched?
So parched.
Well, we've been talking about sweat, and suddenly I got all parched.
Gross. Yum. It's so sweaty. Yum.
That's a good Schwarzenegger.
That is.
Thanks.
Honey, could you please help me open this jar of olives?
Yeah.
Let's hear yours.
My bulging bite. I can't do it.
Then Sonia. Yeah. This is my Downsy Arnold.
God damn it, you did that face for the fucking last one.
What's he doing?
I don't
what
know.
that is.
I'm not sure.
A stroke?
I have no idea what's happening.
Sorry.
All right.
It's a callback to an earlier episode on a different show. I'm
If you want
retarded.
to see more of that,
Yeah.
go to the
Go to timespentpoorly.com. Check out Show Program Podcast.
show program.
That's right. It's the last one, episode 33.
What episode is this?
33.
What are
This
we
is
doing?
episode 24.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa. Of Hanging from the Balcony.
Yeah. Yep.
24.
Yep.
One a week.
One a week. So we've been doing it
Seems
for a
like
while.
We've been doing this for half a year.
I know, like exactly half a year.
Very close. to
Very,
that.
very much so close to that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wink.
Are you sure it's 24?
Because last time was 22. And then last week was 23.
Time for that was 20.
Yeah. And then the one before that was 19. It was
Like,
crazy.
I'm good. What is
It seems like we've done more. Seems like we've I think
Seems
we-
like I've been hanging out with you fuckers
I
for
know.
way too
Yeah,
long.
yeah, yeah.
That's what I mean. Kind of getting tired of you
And it's,
assholes.
yeah. An entire semester of school already has gone by.
Oh, tell me. About
Anyways, to the movies.
To the moon!
Boom.
Who has all seen new movies this week? I
They're
haven't at all.
smacking my
You didn't
boots.
see any?
I saw
talked
old
about all
movies.
mine last
Kim
time.
and I have been watching videos like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
We've
great.
seen a bunch here.
And the reason is because I finally stopped teaching, and so I had a week
Kim
off.
had a week off,
Woo!
and so every afternoon when she normally would be teaching a class, she was like, "Let's watch a movie."
Nice.
I watched a lot.
So
That's
we
awesome.
watched. I'll just give you a quick rundown. We watched Meek's Cutoff, Trailer Park of Terror, My Neighbor Totoro, Sinister, and Room 237.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All movies I've never
Yeah.
heard.
Me either.
So
Actually, the neighbor.
you want to go real quick through
Whatever.
this, Kim?
Let's go through those real fast. So Meek's Cutoff is
Is it his cutoff jeans?
Ooh.
no. If you want to get a pickup, you can look it up. MEEKS Cutoff.
Make a cutoff.
But it's a story. It's a story about an alternate route on the Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
So it's a period piece, and we get
Do
a
it, Jared.
small group of people,
What?
three wagons that are going on this alternate route, and you
And they're
spend
lost.
real time with them. And Lewis's note says "slow as balls" because
It's-
because it's
That's a
slow
slow
as
movie.
balls. And you get Michelle Williams. She's one of the main women. But we read up about it later, and the problem with the film is that I don't get necessarily the emotion or the intent of the director, who's a female, and she wanted to show how women were cut out of decisions and and choices made at the time, they were on the outside because men talked. They didn't talk to their wives. Women just did what they did, and they just,
so
told.
It's kind of a feminine movie.
It's
a feminist movie,
but it's still historical.
And for that, there's
so
some value to it.
reading
But
up
oh my
about
gosh,
the film
it's
later
the
was more
slowest
interesting than
I've
the
ever
movie.
watched.
But
If
it was like
Lewis
finding
thinks
out
it's slow,
the
it
real
must be
story.
really slow.
This
Hey,
canary wanted to be dead. Please send me down a mine shaft.
It was slow, and we watched it with my folks. God love them, and they were just miserable the whole time too. And we just all felt like we had to finish it because you just start a movie, you finish it.
That's
right?
how I feel
And then we
about
get to
half
the
of our
end,
homework
and it's
sometimes.
just
Yeah.
like,
I've wasted this much time.
it didn't do it for us, so we say no. We
It
say
wasn't
thumbs
great.
down.
As I talked about it more afterwards, I saw some of the value, but
It's not.
it's a movie that's meant to make you feel like a woman in the 100 years ago.
So you feel
So
awful.
you feel
Yeah.
So you don't
pushed
care.
away.
You feel isolated.
You feel isolated.
not
You
listened
feel
to.
like you're not
Yeah.
listened
Yeah.
to. You feel like you just have to put up with whatever the movie's doing.
And,
you know,
and just being out there on
just
the Oregon
like
Trail
women
looks
back then had to
horrible.
put up with their husbands. Well, you have to put up with this movie, and at the end, you're like, "Oh, I get it. That's what it is."
Yeah, it is.
So it's kind of the same thing as today, where you just
One thing
gotta
I noticed
put up with
Possibly.
women.
One thing I noticed that was really odd to me was that it came up in the TV aspect. The aspect ratio was like for an old TV.
Oh.
So you know how movies
It wasn't widescreen.
are supposed to be
Sure,
widescreen
sure.
on
Yeah.
Netflix, and you can see the pictures on Google here are all widescreen, but on our TV it came up
full screen,
just a full
essentially.
screen,
Yeah.
like an old fashioned TV, and it.
Like when beforehand it would start off and it would say this movie has been formatted to fit
No,
this
no.
screen.
Right, except our TV is widescreen, and so you had these two
Yeah.
big black bars on either side of the screen.
Oh,
And
that's a
I
bummer.
think part of what she's trying to do is create interesting images with the isolation, and you can see the pictures are just kind of
Random.
random but beautiful. On my screen, they didn't look that way, so maybe Netflix isn't the way to watch it if it shows it.
So Meek's
that way.
cutoff, we say nah.
It's- yeah.
Lewis, tell us about
Trailer Park of Terror is a movie that one of your students gave you
Yeah.
because we love horror films and we love
Right.
schlocky horror
And
films.
there was a slight horror theme to my film class I taught this last quarter.
Right,
So
right.
she's like, yay.
You're gonna love it. It didn't work for me because I felt like it was very low budget. It was kind of the premise is that this woman is in a trailer park and
She wants to get out.
she wants to get out.
Yeah.
The guy that she's in love with gets killed, and so she's so upset that she's walking away, and the devil shows up and he goes, "How'd you like to get revenge on that trailer park?" And so she sells her soul to the devil, and so the trailer park
There's
becomes
the devil right there. Trace Adkins.
Yeah,
country
Trace
star.
Adkins plays the devil.
Yeah.
No, I know exactly. Lewis is like, who's Trace Adkins?
So she becomes this demon, and everyone in the trailer park has to be a demon with her. And then when random people show up and hang out at the trailer park, they murder them.
yeah, they just murder him.
And it's just like,
And it's gross. I mean,
can
like
we
you
show
see all
you?
this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you see these mummies and zombies
Yeah.
and whatever, and they're kind of gross, but it's mostly just stupid.
And apparently it's
not
from
scary.
a graphic novel or a comic.
Yeah, I don't know anything
it was
about the
not
comic,
good.
Ooh.
but yeah,
It
she
couldn't be all bad. Look at this.
Well, yeah, until she peels her face off and has
Oh.
a scary face.
Oh.
But
Yeah.
it's not even scary.
It's not
and
scary
you don't
at
care
all.
about the people in it,
You
and it's
don't.
just
That's the devil.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's him.
He's in it for about 3
5
seconds,
seconds,
so
yeah.
it's not. It's
Not good. So
Definitely
we
pass
say-
it. I gave it 1 star out of
I couldn't give it any lower.
however many
I mean,
stars
it was,
you want.
It was one of those
It was just bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, was the camera at least in focus?
Sometimes.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
it's
wasn't even.
So they
like,
got 1 star for acceptable
They got a
technical
star
work.
because I saw it.
Right,
I mean, like
right,
there's nothing lower than
Trailer
a star.
Park of Terror or Oz Zombies?
oh
Oz
shit.
Zombies was
Maybe
better.
Oz Zombies
is better.
You know,
Because it's actually smart. There's smart
Yeah,
stuff
that's
to
true.
it. And the story
That's
with
true.
this is bullshit. It's not. You can't even believe it.
there's no logic to the
There's
story.
no
It
logic.
falls apart
so
really
Oz
quickly.
Zombies love it that there's the switch between
Yeah.
real
Black and
life
white and
the
yeah.
color, yeah, yeah.
At least that's
cool.
a clever
that was
idea.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish that movie had
That's a good
about.
question.
I wish that movie had about $3 million more because I think it would have been a lot better.
I think so. I think Oz Zombies has potential to be something better. This movie needs
sucks.
just
It
a
doesn't.
major rewrite.
Yeah.
If-
It's not there.
So maybe if the budget of Trailer Park of Terrors if they gave that to Oz Zombies instead.
Yeah. Trailer Park of Terror
Yeah.
probably had like $2 million for their budget.
I think Oz Zombies had about 2,000.
I think their plan was, maybe we can get on Sci-Fi Channel late at night or something like that,
Maybe they did. I don't
Maybe
know.
they did. We also saw My Neighbor Totoro,
Totoro.
which was by what's his name?
Miyazaki.
Miyazaki, the guy who did Spirited Away
That's right.
and a few of those other movies. It's a
Was it-
children's movie.
Was
it a live action or a
Cartoon, animated
Yeah.
from 1988.
And the
Oh, wow.
voices of the two young sisters were by the
Dakota
sisters.
Fanning and Elle Fanning.
sisters.
And so we saw the
Yeah.
dub version. I usually watch foreign films,
They didn't
with
even have the
subtitles, but
option.
that option wasn't there.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, the voices were so
So good. So good.
I actually
yeah.
would recommend that you do
Yeah.
watch this with the English actors.
Yeah, the
voices.
film is 1988, but the voices for U.S. release with English obviously has been more recent. But the story is just absolutely wonderful because it treats these two little girls, and they're little, they're 4 and 7. I mean, they're tiny.
That
And
is a creepy
it
looking
treats
bunny
it-
rabbit
yeah,
thing.
that's Totoro.
That's
him?
Totoro.
yeah,
Holy shit.
Totoro.
He's a troll.
He's a
Looks like
And
a
the
bunny
See the
girls
two
love
girls?
him.
The two girls? There's one's like
They
Yeah.
are. And you just
They're
get-
so
you
cute.
just
Oh my
get this
gosh.
overwhelming- You love it.
It's the
But
cutest show. And there's the cat bus.
Oh,
Cat bus. Yeah.
gross.
It's so
But the
weird
story
and so
is
great.
really simple. Their mom is sick at the hospital, and they went to live out in the country with their father. And they're just moving into this new house that has these little dust bunny things. What are those things called?
They're dust
Oh,
little
gremlins.
ghosts.
Yes,
Gremlins.
there's
They're
like a
dust
whole
gremlins.
Japanese lore about them,
Yeah.
correct?
I see them in Spirited Away as well. Dust
And then
gremlins.
they
They're
just
so
go
cute.
into the jungle or the woods, and they just meet all these wonderful creatures, and it's just awesome. And these kids are treated like adults, and I love.
Well,
the
they're
way-
respected like you would respect an adult.
Yeah.
They're not told
They're not
to do
just
things like
talked
an
down
adult, but
to,
they're
and-
treated. And I gotta say this: in America, we show movies to kids. We have kids movies like Smurfs 2,
Yeah.
which are
Oh,
bullshit movies
Jesus.
that turn our kids into idiots.
Right.
And if you have to have Smurfs 2 running in your house because your kids have the DVD and they love it and they want to watch it, well, shame on you. You should have shown them My Neighbor Totoro. Damn it. And taught them just really awesome, dust gremlins or dust sprites. Taught them something good. Like, there's a scene in this movie where the kids are like, I think our house is haunted. And the dad goes,
I've
oh,
always
good.
wanted-
I've always wanted to meet a ghost.
Yeah.
And he says, hey, let's try this. If
They hear a creak in the house when they're all sitting around, and then he looks at his daughters and he's like, "Are you scared?" And she's like, "No,
Here, go
I'm
down
not
just a
scared."
bit.
But he knows that
see
they
that
are.
brown box?
Yeah, that's what they are.
That's them.
Without the stars and stuff.
Oh shit, they're moving.
Yeah.
Aren't they awesome?
Yeah.
They're just cute,
Those are
right?
dust gr- and they do. They leave little black smoke behind them when they move around in
Yeah.
the film.
And they're like, well, how do we get rid of the ghosts? And the dad goes, we just laugh. Ha 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 ha.
And
They
he
all
just
start
starts
laughing.
He says, "When you're scared, just laugh." Because
When you're scared, laugh, and the ghosts of bad things will go
I know.
away.
Aww.
Just great
Those are
lessons.
sweet.
Now,
I
tell
know.
me that a 5-year-old who's afraid of the dark
Yeah.
wouldn't benefit from that movie.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, my word. And when they meet the troll, when the little girl meets the troll, that
it's
troll's
just
like,
the sweetest thing. And she's like,
"Rah!" back to it. And the troll's like, okay. And then they're friends.
Nice.
Look how big that troll's mouth
Yeah,
is.
look at that.
And
And
he's
the
got-
cat too.
the little one's
I think
the
the
best.
trolls is
She's
worse
the
because he's
best.
got
Yeah.
human teeth.
But see how the kids are doing it too? The little girls are like, they're all doing it
It's
too.
great.
It's so
And
good,
since
and
we
it's just
watched it and
heartwarming.
talked so
Oh.
much on Facebook
And it's on
about
Netflix?
it, we found out that all of our friends have seen it. They're like, "Oh yeah, that's a great one," and we're
Yeah.
like, "How come you didn't
Yeah.
tell us to
Where
watch
have you
it?"
guys been?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's so
It's
good.
great.
But
Hands-
seriously, if you
hands,
have
thumbs
little
up, everything.
kids
Yeah.
and you don't know what to
God
show
damn it.
them,
Yeah.
show them movies by Miyazaki.
yeah.
Spirited Away and My Neighbor Totoro. Those are movies that
Oh, the
little
other
kids
one-
need to see.
With the castle, there's another one too.
Yeah, he's
It's
got a
pretty
number
good.
of
Yeah.
films.
Good stuff.
Really fun.
Japanese director.
That was
Nope.
Kim's rental.
Damn it.
She rented that, and then I said, "Well, if we get to watch your movie, we get to watch my movie." So
Where'd
I
you rent
rented
it from?
Sinister,
with
Netflix.
Ethan Hawke.
From the disc.
Yeah, so we
Disc.
do discs and
Yeah,
watch
we were
now.
doing discs and watch now. So
I might have to fucking upgrade back up to discs just so I
I
can get some
know.
shit
Yeah,
that I
but
can't watch.
We can't joint accounts. Like we have our own accounts.
We have
too.
our own
Mine
queues.
goes to the TV, his goes to the PS3, and so
Nice.
So, Sinister, I'd heard
Yeah.
a lot of good things, and I'd heard it had a really fun twist at the end. I gotta tell you, ultimately, it kind of left me cold. I felt like the big twist to me didn't work. I thought the big twist came out of...
This movie was on regular Netflix.
Yeah, you can watch... Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I got it on disc because I'm a genius.
you did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
that's
Lou.
on,
Well, no, I got it on disc, remember?
I know.
And it sat
but we
on their
coulda-
shelf for
you
about...
coulda
It says
watched
unavailable.
it
to stream.
was. I know that it was because
It
I
probably
remember
was.
seeing
See,
that.
we
They
keep
just
doing
went.
that, though.
They
It's
just went through and
frustrating.
changed a bunch of shit.
Yeah, a lot of Netflix were learning.
did. We both
will add
heard-
things and subtract
You can
things.
rent it for $3.99 on
I
Amazon.
say wait.
No,
I don't
yeah.
think it's worth $3.99. Now, Insidious, I do think you should see, but Sinister, for me, it's a pass. I felt like
Insidious is probably gone too.
it's
man.
probably the darkest
Yep.
movie I've seen in a long time, and by that I mean every shot is in a dark house with the lights turned out, with one little
dark
lamp,
everything.
so you can barely see the face.
Yeah.
Oh my word! I kept going. I can't see anything in this movie, and there's nothing that frustrates me more than when your character is laying in bed at 3 a.m. and he hears like noises coming from his office, like the movie projector's playing.
When he put it away.
He
We
puts
know
it away.
Put it away.
He locks his office. He's the only one that can get in. He goes to sleep. He hears the movie projector playing. He gets up in the dark, walks
down the hallway in the dark, opens up his
unlocks his
office.
door. Oh, the door's open.
Oh,
he
yeah.
walks in. The movie projector's on, showing murder videos on the wall. He doesn't turn on any lights. He just walks over and he goes, "Huh," and he turns off the projector. So now he's in
utter
pitch black,
darkness.
Jesus.
and you're just like,
Turn a
Dude,
light on.
turn something on.
Flashlight
Yeah.
or something.
It's
and the
frustrating
story
that
in
way.
the end didn't do it for us.
Is this a Ethan Hawke one
Yeah.
where
Yeah,
he
it's Ethan
sees
Hawke.
things in photos or something?
Yeah.
Well, he watches videos of these films where the people have filmed murder of families in particular houses.
and he starts to notice there's a demon in the film. You know, he keeps seeing it from
starts
film
to
to
put it
film.
together, and he figures out what the threat is, and then
Does there have to be a thread every time? Is it this thing?
No, that's not connected to the
that's
movie.
not it.
Oh, that says Black Drenix. No, Sinister.
See this guy holding the girl?
right here?
No,
No, go back to, that guy. That's the demon.
that's
Oh.
him. But you don't even really.
He steals little
Yeah.
children.
His face is
Is that
creepy.
Jack Black?
Yeah.
Johnny Depp?
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's scary. I think it's playing a lot more with atmosphere. The big twist at the end for me doesn't work, and I don't want to give it away in case somebody out there wants
Yeah.
to see it. It's not great, so I say skip Sinister. Watch My Neighbor
Yeah,
Totoro.
watch Insidious even
Watch
because Insidious 2 is
How
coming
did
out.
this get mixed in there?
Yeah, that's
That
weird.
was a
That
creepy
was
movie.
creepy as shit. I hated the ending
Yeah.
of it too.
Yeah.
Photoshop.
And then the
Yeah,
last
that's what
movie
it was,
we watched, we have a couple of friends here in town,
Jack Black, Jack White.
and
What am I saying?
Whatever.
I knew what you
they
meant.
I did know
lent
what you mean,
us.
too.
We have some friends, and they lent us a copy of a movie called Room 237, which is a documentary
Oh, that's
made
right.
about theories people have based on the movie The Shining by Stanley Kubrick.
Oh my god, I love that movie. I own that one. That one's great.
Well, you should watch
The
it
Shining?
then. I mean,
or
Yes.
Room 237?
No.
no.
You
The
should watch
Shining.
Room 237. It will change how you see The Shining for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, 9 different people have different theories, and they
Right.
just kind of explore their theories about
I
what
mean,
they
you see
think
the film
Kubrick's trying to say with this movie
from a lot of different perspectives.
from a lot of perspectives.
Some of the perspectives we think are a little less reasonable than some of the others, which is why they're all theories.
Like the most unreasonable is the guy who thinks that Kubrick helped fake the moon landing.
So yeah, let's find a picture
And
of the
that-
boy in his shirt.
Yeah, see the boy here on the carpet? If you can get a shot of his sweater. Yeah, and you've got your...
Yeah, right
thing.
there.
Click on it. Yeah.
So that's
See how his sweater says Apollo 11?
Oh yeah.
That's like a clue
Yeah.
that was the faked moon landing.
come
because
on.
Yeah, like
Kubrick
that's the
faked
kind of stuff.
the moon landing.
That was my
footage.
favorite one, though.
That's
This
Yeah.
guy's theories
Interesting.
when he like explains why he thinks the moon landing was faked by Kubrick.
Yeah.
And then that's one of the clues. I was like, that's awesome.
That's a pretty weak clue because wasn't that one of the biggest things going on in historically at the time?
He also argues the reason that the bad lady, the ghost woman, is in room 237 is
This
because because in the book she's not
gross.
in room 237. She's in room 217. But he says Kubrick changed it because the moon is 237,000 miles away from the Earth.
So the whole movie of The Shining is about faking the moon.
So all these
It's about
different
Kubrick
people,
trying to confess his sin without anyone noticing.
Yeah, but all these 9 people just present their little version of what they think the
Yeah,
film
that's
is
just
about.
one version.
Look at the can of baking powder right there. One of them thought it was about Native American.
The genocide of the Native
genocide.
Americans.
Do you see the little baking soda with the Indian on it? Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
I do now.
So
you see
the
that
very
quite
first
often.
one you see does this, and Kubrick is known to very clearly and specifically take away things and add things to the mise en scène of this what you're seeing, so that you see exactly what he wants you to see. He was very controlling and very specific about what he did. So this person says it's about genocide.
I just heard a film term. Will you explain what mise en scène means?
Yeah, what is mise en scène?
Mise en scène is a French term for everything in the frame.
Okay.
So all the stuff,
all
like
the
in
stuff.
the background.
So costumes, props, actors.
It's put there for a reason.
And
Yes.
it's put there for a reason, yeah. So whenever you see stuff, typically it's not because it was there by accident because someone didn't see it. People who look at these shots.
So
put
see this
Same
picture
with,
of
things in the
Same
right
Halloran?
with in
place.
Superman, they put the LexCorp in the back.
Absolutely.
Well,
Small
or in
detail.
in Man
on
of
the
Steel,
water
when he's
tower.
talking to the priest and there's a picture of Jesus right behind
behind him.
Superman, that's their way of saying Superman's our savior.
Oh,
And that's
nice.
kind
That's
of
mise en scène.
emphasized throughout.
So, like, see
But
this
yeah.
picture of
There it is. There's the can.
Holloman with
That's
the can
thing.
behind him, the black guy. Yeah, there.
That's the whole.
So,
isn't that what's his name?
Scatman Crothers.
Yeah, Scatman Crothers.
It's
That's
Scatman
So the
that's a
tag,
great name.
So we see the baking powder. That goes with the theory of the one guy who says it's about Native American genocide. Then up in the corner we see Tang. No. It's in the same picture.
Same picture.
And the
See
Tang
where it says Tang?
just emphasizes the moon landing.
Oh.
So, there's
So the moon
people
guy's
saying,
like, Tang, that proves it's about the moon.
Tang.
And another
Or-
guy's
Yeah.
going, Calumet, that proves it's about
Yeah.
the genocide of Indians.
Or they're in a fucking pantry in a fucking hotel,
Yeah.
and these are all things that are in there.
And
You're gonna love
Tang
this, Nathan.
right next to Kool-Aid, which are mixed drinks.
Oh, look, and there's sugar. Big surprise. Yeah,
I know.
okay.
So there's other
That's
ones
great.
about like just.
But what's fun
crazy
about it is
theories.
it almost doesn't matter if the theories are true. None of the theories are true, really, for all we know. What matters is it shows how you can
Misconstrue.
not misconstrue.
Jump into a
Construe.
film.
Create stories to make something more interesting. I think if you watch Room 237 and then go back and watch The Shining, you'll have a much more enjoyable time watching The Shining. There are scenes in The Shining like where Jack Nicholson, where Jack Nicholson meets some guys in a lobby.
Yeah,
They just
you
walk up
see
to him
that
and they're
shot, you
like,
see that
"Hey,
scene
how's it going?" And
like
he's like,
10
"Oh, fine."
times.
It's no big deal. But
Yeah.
when they break it down in this movie, then you go back and watch it, you'll be like,
Oh,
"This is
that's-
my favorite
This
scene."
scene's a big deal now.
And everyone will be like,
Yeah.
"What? This scene? He's just meeting guys in a lobby."
Now I
Yeah.
remember where Sinister was. It was on my Xbox movie queue, so you could rent
Oh.
it. Same with this. Now I saw that yellowy picture with the
Oh, okay.
the little key thing. It was on the same thing.
How can I see this? Do I need to buy it?
You know
have
what?
to
It's
rent it,
probably in
probably.
theaters right now.
That's what.
Not in our theaters.
That's
here
what
in
Amazon
Lewiston.
was saying.
Yeah, it won't be out for a little bit, but we have a friend that got a sneak copy, and they
The
let us.
film actors copy or whatever, the screen actors.
Not
copy?
that, not
No.
that original. More of a.
More of
somehow
a
they got hold
bootleg.
of more of a bootleg, and they lent it to us.
They're filmmakers here in the valley. They're
Yeah,
pretty cool.
They're very cool.
That's
yeah,
They
they're
know what they're doing.
savvy. So
They
we
know how to
just-
do stuff. Because he's like, "Yeah, I just saw 237," and I was like, "Oh,
They didn't even come
I
out.
don't see it. It's not coming to our theater." And he's
Oh, yeah.
like, "Let me get you a copy." Boom, you know.
That's
We're like,
awesome.
boom.
I want to see that. I gotta
Yeah.
see that.
So we had a good time watching a whole
It's
bunch of.
fun. It's a fun thing if you
movies.
like The Shining, especially.
And if you
So-
know it, I mean, it's going to be hard to watch this if you haven't seen The Shining.
It's,
So
it's like
obviously
currently
watch
in
The Shining.
theaters. So
So what I would do, Nathan, if you like The Shining, is wait 3 months, and then when this comes out, watch it, and then go back and watch The Shining.
Okay.
You'll be like,
Yeah.
"I'm so
Like
glad
back to
I
back.
Because I don't own The Shining, but after watching this, I would have immediately put it on.
right. Well, why don't we plan a movie night and or do you have to give it
We
back?
could do that.
And I'll bring that and you can bring that or whatever.
It's a little weird. The copy we have only plays on my computer, not on a TV DVD. So it may not work. But
We could always do it down here if we had to.
We could.
Because we have, well, I'd have to fucking sit in a different seat. My ass is killing me already. We got another hour to go, so this is going to be fun. If I start getting antsy, that's because my ass is dying back here.
Well, that's it. We saw 5 movies and we went through them.
Mowed through them. Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
No, it was great.
I accidentally saw a foreign film. It was I'll bring it up so you guys can see how I was duped into this.
Looks like
it's
naked
called
movies.
no, but it
Yeah.
did sound like it was going to be kind of sexy.
Oops! Did I accidentally click on the boobies movie?
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you got tricked. You poor kid.
Sexual
It's like
awakening
porn.
Right.
of 3 girls.
That's what it was right there.
Come
Drama
on.
tracks the sexual awakening of 3 girls during one
How
summer.
old do you think they are?
Well, it says, to be fair to them, it does
Just
say
go to
girls, but
RedTube, man.
I like my porn to have art behind it, damn it.
Gay lesbian movies.
How did you get fooled into this
Jesus.
again?
I got fooled into it by the term in there. Well, first of all, I was really fucking drunk. Really late at night on my fucking
The
week off.
meaning of arousal.
Right.
The power of attraction.
It was
What
literally
does arousal
Hey,
mean?
I'm
sexual
drunk and I'm
awakening.
kind of
Yeah.
aroused.
That's
Why
right.
not?
Click.
And then it
I
was.
see you gave it 1 star.
I did. It was a foreign film, and it was all about 15-year-old girls. I'm like, this sucks, but I got to see what happens now because it's all about
15-year-old girls.
synchronized swimming. It's not synchronized
So
swimming.
you watched a movie about synchronized
I
swimming.
did. When I
Hoping
could have
to
just
see
turned.
boobies.
Yeah. No, I was just hoping to see
Karma's a
anything
bitch.
cool. Yeah. No,
Karma's a bitch.
that was totally my. That was my.
I'm gonna watch
fucking stupid-
boobies. 15-year-old
Yeah.
boobies. Nope, synchronized swimming.
Yeah.
Thanks God.
Thanks. I guess I deserved that one. Me and my damn perviness got me again. Damn it. No.
Oh well.
I am unashamed though that because I was looking for something specific and got fucked in the ass for it, so that's what I get. But I could definitely say that if this comes across your movie queue for any reason whatsoever, I don't know how it came across in my
Now,
recommendations.
I happen to be into
Don't watch
synchronized
it.
swimming movies.
Do you? Are
That's
you?
one of my categories that comes
All right,
up.
yeah, good.
If you like synchronized swimming movies
This one's like the worst of them all, so don't watch
with
that.
Wait,
French
can we-
lesbians, then you might like this movie.
Yeah, brief aside, what's going on with Netflix and their really, really strangely specific
They do. Have you
themes
noticed this?
Yes.
for your...
How do you think I got
movies
to this?
From Italy about men who love their mothers? Then maybe you'll like
We had
this.
that. That was one
And
of my
it was-
categories.
It was one of
Italian
mine.
movies about men who love their mothers.
watched
We're
it
like,
and it
That's
was
how Jer Bear got
lively.
to Teddy Bear.
That's how Teddy Bear gave me that shit. And I'm like, what?
what?
You live with your mother. You like this?
No. But they say things like more movies that are like this, and then they have this really specific description of a movie that there's only 5 like that, but they have a group for it. It's like a
Yeah.
real category.
It's so
and it's so
weird.
weird. I don't understand how they put these words together to make
I don't
movies.
either. This came up because
I
I clicked on and added to my instant queue Bear Nation. That's why this one came up.
What's Bear Nation?
Bear Nation, we were talking about it 3 or 4
It's a
episodes
Kevin
back. It's the
Smith movie.
the Malcolm Ingram.
Oh.
It's his second offering after he did Small Town Gay Bar, and we were joking around about watching. We were talking about bears for some reason, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is like kind of like a Smodcast type thing. I got to watch this Bear Nation one." Added it to my instant queue, and instantly by adding that one, I get all these fucking gay and lesbian movies, which I don't have a problem with. But I'm just like, seriously, I just wanted to watch that one. It's not like I don't want all of these recommended to me all the time. So and then.
Chasing Amy.
Chasing
gave it
Amy,
to me.
Chasing Amy will come up. But yeah, I got duped by the sexual awakening part, and I should have noticed that 3 girls instead of 3 women or 3. But girls,
Hey,
like
can I
girls,
ask
is a
you-
misleading
Yeah, sure.
term.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, I know you don't know me.
What is the true meaning of arousal?
I fuck if I know. It's not sitting there on your vacation drunk as shit trying to watch something that's mildly sexy that's not porn because you don't want waking up your wife at fucking 1:30 in the morning. Other than that, I have no opinion about it.
All right. Well, so water lilies not
No go.
suggested.
Yeah, just skip that
Did
one.
you,
Yeah,
did you
there's
see
the-
anything else?
I did. I watched. I bought it because it was only $5 in the bin. I watched Apollo 18. And Apollo 18 is kind of like a found footage style movie.
Found footage. I'm not a fan of found. I hate found footage. Is this good though? Have you seen it, Jared?
No, I saw the trailer for it.
I
and
saw
was
the
like,
trailer, too.
Good God, this is like a bag of shit.
Is it a bag of shit?
I like space, though. I'm fascinated
I love
by
space,
space, and I'm
too.
fascinated by the whole Apollo thing, especially. All of that fucking fascinated me. I'm like, oh, this is great. Even if it's fabricated out of fucking whole cloth or whatever the fucking phrase is, I think this could be cool. Where it fell flat is at the end, spoilers, at the very end of it, all three of them die. There's only
Sure, that's why Apollo 18 never came back.
right.
And we never heard
right.
about it.
Well, they're saying that Apollo 17 was officially the last official mission, but 2 years after Apollo 17, they launch Apollo 18 because the Department of Defense wants to go put some listening device up in this crater. And they get up there and they find a lunar lander that's not U.S.
Oh, okay.
Because as far as we know, we're the only ones that have been there.
Sure.
We get there, and there's a Russian lander with a little Russian flag, and the flag is knocked over with a bunch of footsteps walking away from it. And all of a sudden, you start noticing that all these rocks are turning into these weird fucking spider alien things. These weird spider alien things, somehow, without sucking him through the hole into the vacuum of space, gets into one of the fellow astronauts' suit and gives him a big gash in, like, right on his rib cage, and then kind of like
purple nurple,
like a big fat purple nurple that's
And we
all the
all-
way through his skin.
And we all already know that if you get a hole in your suit, you're fine. in
You're
space.
good. You're fine.
Fine.
You'll walk it off.
you put a space patch on it.
You put a space band-aid on it. But so
tape.
he kind of starts turning into kind of District 9 style. He doesn't start turning into something, but he starts going like batty.
Okay.
Like nutty. And so the one dude that didn't get whatever the spider thing into his suit, which, by the way, didn't kill him, the guy that got the spider thing, it just left a big gash and then went away, and he was fine. He smashed it inside the space shuttle, and fucking space spider guts go everywhere. But at the end of the movie, if you guys are going to watch it, stop me, but at the end of the movie, there's only 3 people that can man an Apollo flight. All 3 of them die, and they're saying that back in such and so, or back in like 4 years ago, the website lunartruth.com received 84 hours of never before seen footage.
Like in Troll Hunter.
Right. One question though: 3 people go up, none come back. Where the fuck did the footage come from? You just put a fucking hole in your own story. At least have one of them come back and then be dead or something, but
That's
like
'cause
all of
it's
them die.
saved for Apollo 19.
No, that's true.
Clearly, once the aliens turned them into puppets,
Spiders.
they were able to get back out.
Oh, that's a good point. So the one dude gets infected as well, but he doesn't think he's being infected. He's like, "Get me the fuck out of here!" And then he blasts off from the lunar lander, crashes into the other guy, and all 3 of them die. And then they're all on a secret mission or whatever. Like they had to tell their families that they weren't, like, they were on Earth this whole time. They were gone for.
Right.
They were gone for 8 days or 10 days or something like that, and they're all like abroad. And then they all were told that like they died in air collisions and weird shit.
Well, if he launched and then crashed into the guy that's floating around up there, maybe they slowly drifted
Back to Earth.
That's
not
So
happening.
you loved it, right?
So it was really good. It was acted very well. The acting was good.
Okay.
The lead guy's the actor from Alphas, the
Okay.
Dexter's guy. He's a pretty decent actor. His
The
name,
gun shooter.
The gun shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alphas, by the way, TV show.
Oh,
really
they
good.
canceled too early.
It did.
Two
It got,
seasons,
well,
but
I guess
really
you don't
good.
want to watch it
Alf, I
anymore.
loved Alf.
Alpha.
He eats cats.
Alphas.
Oh.
So if you like it, and it's a horror movie that's based in space. So part of a horror movie has to be based on something that could be somewhat possible. There's literally a fraternity of less than 20 people that have been in space, so this is not scary at all unless
to
you're
them all. Yeah, been to
you're
the moon.
in theory, in general, just terrified. Like my wife is just in general terrified of the idea of space. But this is what he starts, like, he gets really gross looking in the eyes, like his eyes go really grossly bloodshot, and I have this weird thing with eyes, so it was grossing me out the whole time.
One of the keys to horror films, if you look at how horror films tend to be put together, one of the keys is that you want to send characters, you want your characters to be isolated from anyone else.
Right. Well, that fucking nailed it on the head. Then
it seems like that's kind of a natural, because so often they're out in a cabin in the woods, or they're down in Antarctica, or they're somehow away from society, so they can't just call up for help. Right. Obviously,
and they lose connection with what's it called for several hours. This is grainy. This is what you see in the movie. It's literally this grainy, but right here, there's a little bit of a hint of it, and you see it for probably 2 seconds, and you're like, what the fuck was in his suit? And then he goes downhill from there.
Yeah.
And then he ends up dying. They try to, at some point they get into the Russian lander and survive in there for a while, because they get separated, and he goes and survives in the Russian lander. I'm like, how the fuck is there still oxygen in that thing? There's no way that. I don't know. There's just a bunch of plot holes that if you rub two brain cells together, none of it makes sense. But if you can overlook that, it's not terrible. It wasn't.
So
that
part
good.
of my problem with found footage movies, and this is one reason I didn't like Troll Hunter that much, is because it's found footage. I think it's an excuse for filmmakers to get away with having shitty cameras.
Quality. Yeah,
they're like, our cameras suck. How can we get? We'll just say it's found footage.
That superhero one with the found
Chronicle.
footage.
I liked Chronicle.
Chronicle was really good. I can't stop saying enough good things about Chronicle. But Chronicle had a good camera, good enough to not notice.
Camera. Yeah, I didn't feel like it was that just blurry. Someone running through the woods for 10 minutes with a camera. Yeah, but even Chronicle might have been better if they'd had a better budget and could have made it not found footage. Just made it, because part of one of the things that kind of irritated me with Chronicle was every time he's floating around, he had to kind of control where the camera was. And I started thinking, wow, he's really paying attention to that camera all the time. You know?
So unless part of his power is to be able to focus on something a lot, and then to the point where you don't have to think about it anymore,
right?
Then that was he was always in focus. He was always in the frame.
Yeah. And that's one of those little details that you kind of go, really?
Yeah.
But it's fine. I'll give it up for Chronicle, because I think Chronicle did really cool things.
Well, and for that style, for that genre. And for them to there's only so many stories you could tell with found footage to be effective. I think to date, that's the most effective use of found footage.
Yeah, maybe. I haven't seen too many good found footage.
What was the first one? Cloverfield or whatever. That one was effective. Well, actually, that wasn't the first one. That was
what I liked about
Blair
Cloverfield.
Witch was the first one.
Was I really liked T.J. Miller.
I do too. Yeah.
I thought he was that's a great example of how to make found footage work, is to make the camera have a voice.
Right. The camera, and honestly, for the camera to have a voice, and for the cameraman to be the comic relief, I think that was very helpful.
I thought it worked really
well, because if he didn't have his little funny moments in there, that would have been a pretty long, boring movie.
Yeah, well, that's what made the cameraman in Troll Hunter unlikable for me, was because
completely useless.
We
didn't
even know him until he's like, oh, by the way,
I'm a Christian and I'm dying.
And he was dead. So and they didn't utilize that as
literally didn't show him until that moment.
Yeah.
One other time,
once or twice, but not enough.
So found footage is hard. Try Chronicle. You'll like Chronicle if you like found footage. Skip Apollo 18 if you
did
have
you
a problem.
You saw The Dictator?
Things. I did watch The Dictator. Yes.
So you've seen a few movies too.
I sat down. I had a friend visit, and I was on vacation for a while, so I had a little bit of extra spare time. And she actually recommended two things to me. One that I'm going to save for a homework here coming up pretty soon.
Okay.
And she's like, have you seen The Dictator yet? I'm like, no, I heard so many bad things about it. She's like, forget them all. We're watching this right now. It just came available on Netflix. I'm like, okay.
Really?
And I really liked Borat, and I really hated Bruno. So I'm like, I don't know which way this is going to go. Because he's if he's on, he's on. If he's off, he's way in fucking left field.
Right.
Just like with Borat, fucking on. With Bruno, where the fuck
Right.
did you go?
Right.
Um,
And the preview, I gotta say, the trailers looked off.
Didn't do justice for it. And all the pre-press with him going to the what's it called?
Yeah,
and the red carpet and spilling shit all over Ryan Seacrest. While I did appreciate Ryan Seacrest getting fucked with, just all that shit leading up to it, I was like, is this gonna be any good? Ooh. Because I really thought that he was gonna go the direction that he went with Bruno with it. Like it was more a movie being shot around, like he knew he was in a movie, but no one else knew that they were in a movie with
Right.
Bruno.
Right.
And sort of with Borat to an extent, but this was actually a legitimate movie with a script and everything. Like,
okay.
Well, that helps.
so that, and it wasn't really portrayed that way. It was portrayed like he was a dictator from a made up country,
Right.
and he was going to be going around doing stupid shit.
Yeah,
i.e.,
that's exactly what I think. It
i.e.
is.
the thing that happened with the red carpet and shit.
Right.
It's not that at all. It's completely scripted, and he helped co-write it. I don't think he helped direct it at all, but he helped co-write it. And there are so, like, if you're a political person at all and follow politics at all, there are so many really, really smart political jokes
Nice.
peppered through the entire thing. Everything that you loved about Borat kind of is reflected in this movie. Everything that you hated about Bruno was completely left out of this movie.
So it sounds like you really liked it.
I really liked it a lot. I thought,
Nice.
like, honestly, like, I didn't buy Borat, but I really liked it a lot. I would never buy Bruno in a million years, and I always base how much I'd like something by if I'd buy it or not. I would definitely go out and buy this, like, today if I was at the store and saw it. I don't, like, even if it wasn't in the bargain bin, I'd
So
pay
you're
money
saying
for it.
better than Borat?
Better than I thought it was better than Borat. There's just like there was so many moments, and I watched it with my friend Tina, who's from Colorado, and me and her fell in love with Borat kind of like together. Like I discovered Borat because of her, and I don't know if I would have ever watched it had it not been for her. And I ended up really liking Borat. And there's just so many. There's so many fucking smart jokes in it, and he has a speech at the end that he gives where he's talking about how like America's awesome because you don't do this and you don't do this, and he's like describing like a dictatorship, but he's also describing everything that we do as Americans. He's like,
Nice.
America's great because you don't do this and you don't do this and you would never do this, and he's explaining like everything Congress does, and it's all backwards and all, and
Fantastic.
it's really, really great. I loved it. Anna Faris is in it, and I know a lot of people don't like her, and she's really likable in this movie.
Oh, that's
She's
good.
kind of like this hippie chick, and she doesn't shave her armpits, and really capitalizes on all that whole hippie
I
thing.
always want to like Anna Faris.
You might end up
Like-
liking her in this one if you
But
give
yeah,
her a chance.
for whatever reason, her movies always aren't very funny.
Right. She's the love interest, which you're like, why the fuck did they need it? But it turns out to be really, really funny.
Interesting.
There's some really funny things about where they get assumed to be terrorists just because they're speaking in a different language, and they're in that
Which is really
helicopter,
funny.
which is it's a scene directly from the preview, which was the only thing that I thought looked funny from the preview.
That's true. That was the one part in the preview I thought, well, that's kind
And
of
th-
funny.
and that and they don't even say like all the funny parts from all the funny parts from that scene aren't in the
Oh,
preview. So
great.
so there's even more to that scene that's just great.
Okay.
I would give it like at least 4.5 stars if you could do half stars on Netflix. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
pretty positive.
So,
All
but
right.
that's me, Mr. I love everything. So,
we saw about 12 movies. Nathan saw about 7, and you saw none.
you saw 4.
I already talked
Well, yeah, we
about
talked
my
about
other
last
ones.
week though.
Oh, last week.
Yeah.
But I mean, this week you
And
didn't
then
watch
I
any
did
more.
my homeworks, and that's
Oh.
all I pretty much.
We'll have to
gotta
get to
do.
homework, but before that.